Traveling through central Mogadishu, the security situation is so tense, we have to be led by an armed convoy. It's too dangerous to film openly in the streets. The former British colony fell into anarchy when the military regime of President Siad Barre collapsed in 1991. Rival warlords tore the country apart along clan lines. Al-Shabaab emerged as a formidable force that terrorized the country. African Union forces have been trying to restore order for years. They've managed to push Al-Shabaab out of much of Somalia. And in 2012, the country finally turned a corner. It formed its first parliament in more than 20 years, and it's preparing for new elections later this year. But here in the capital, it's clear that Somalia is far from stable. The African Union mission in Somalia, or AMISOM, has had boots on the ground since 2007. Its mission: to help bring the country under the government's control.
There are over 22,000 AMISOM forces in Somalia, and they divide the areas that they run into sectors. Now in the south, Kenya is in control, and as you move along the coastal regions, it's Uganda and Burundi. North of that, Ethiopia and Djibouti are responsible for the areas that are bordering Ethiopia.
AMISOM has succeeded in pushing Al-Shabaab out of large parts of Somalia, but its soldiers have become targets of the militant group. 2 days after we filmed outside their headquarters in Mogadishu, Al-Shabaab bombed the area. 2 AMISOM soldiers were injured. The African Union forces have been training the Somali army since 2012. The goal is for it to one day take over the country's security. But with an enemy as elusive and adaptable as Al-Shabaab, it might be years before that day comes.
If you pull out AMISOM forces, then they will be orphaned. And when you orphan them, they have no fighting capability. They have less numbers. They have no experience. And they'll just revert to the default setting of either running away or being bought over by Al-Shabaab.
As Somalia struggles to secure its own territory, it's also struggling to define its political geography and direction. We traveled from Mogadishu to the northern region of Puntland. Our plane takes off and flies over the Indian Ocean. It's too dangerous to fly directly overland. Puntland is safer than Mogadishu. In 1998, the region declared autonomy. The issue on people's mind here isn't so much security, but on Puntland's place within Somalia.
There's an important discussion taking place about Somalia's political future. Mogadishu would like the parliament to be based on what is known as the 4.5 formula. And according to this formula, the 4 biggest clans would have a number of seats, and the 0.5 would represent the smaller clans. The government here in Puntland rejects that.
We don't have to be stuck in the past, whereby everything was seen on the prism of a clan. Okay? We want the Puntland people, or Somali people in general, should have a true representation, accountable system, okay? Transparent, accountable representation.
Somalia is trying to look to the future. Diaspora Somalis have come back in the thousands to help rebuild their country. But the challenges on its horizon are immense, and whether Somalis can overcome them together is unclear. Zaina Awad, the Newsmakers, Somalia.